doing?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys. So let's get ready to start another week here as we get into hopefully what could be a good and fun week for us to trade as it was last week. So as usual, guys, if you're joining us for the first time, we do this every week, Monday through Friday.
Happy Monday. How are you doing?
Doing good. As usual, we'll go over our watch list from yesterday. So obviously Tuesday we'll have our watch list from today, and then we'll go over that in detail, see how those traded. Then we'll look at our gappers list, which is pretty light this morning, only one on here. See what stocks look good in play at that area. And then we'll go into our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, and see what in here has some good volume, good activity, good pre-market action that we can possibly trade. So if you're starting out first time with us with Bearable Traders, it does seem to go pretty fast as we're going through these, but I guarantee you the more and more you join the show, either via YouTube or in the morning through our chat, it will start getting easier to understand. It'll be a little more clear. So and also if you have questions, guys, we do have the off topic, and that is what that is there for. It's a little bit tough for me to check that during the show, but I guarantee you that Eamon and the other moderators will be looking in there and helping you out. Norm, what do we have for this week in regards to news, the SPY, anything exciting going on that we should expect out of this week?
Well, frankly, the earnings season is essentially over. There's most of the earnings that are coming out this week are most, not all, are penny stocks and such. There's a few things that we've traded in the past. Nothing's releasing earnings today that we trade very much at all that I can recall us trading. Tomorrow, GME, GameStop, we've traded, but now it's under $5, so it's really not. I don't know that it's going to be in our wheelhouse. RH reports tomorrow, and everybody needs to remember, despite it being a $150+ stock, it's still a low float. ZS, Dave & Buster's reports tomorrow. So there's a couple tomorrow. Wednesday, Aurora Cannabis, ACB, we've traded in the past, Tailored, TLRD. And then we kind of get Thursdays a ton of penny stocks. I'm just going through my notes to see if I have anything. Broadcom, we've traded in the past, but it's nearly $300. Kroger, KR, we've traded. That's Thursday before the bell. What else do we have? Thursday's the really busy day with a bunch of names reporting, but it's, like I said, a lot of it is penny stocks. A lot of it's low floats, long blockchain, for instance, and stuff like that. And then Friday, what else we got? I'm not seeing anything really substantial on Friday. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Congress getting back into session, so we'll see if any kind of macro political news messes with anything. The situation in Hong Kong that's been going on for the last few months is settled down a little bit. We'll see if anything really comes out of that. And then as far as economic news, nothing too big today. Small business index tomorrow is early in the morning. Median household incomes tomorrow. PPI and wholesale inventories Wednesday. Thursday's jobless claims, of course. CPI, and then retail sales on Friday, and consumer sentiment. So, there's a couple of pieces of data coming out, nothing too crazy. I don't expect, frankly, this week might be a little bit of a snooze fest, but that can all change with one tweet as well, as you know, Carlos.
Yes, I do. All right, guys. So that is the news. Let's get into what we have in our gappers list. This one here, and then we'll look into NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gains. We'll run through these. I see a good one on here, AMD. That's a possible trade if it's active. What else is on here? I don't see Roku. Where's Roku? I don't see Roku. Oh, here's Roku. Yeah, Roku is right on there. So we'll see what that's up to today as well. So let's get over here with ACAD. Let's start up with this one. ACAD is up 71% this morning. Wow. This is up quite a bit.
It was up a lot more. It was up a lot more than this earlier. It doubled in price first thing.
Wow. So this is really up quite a bit, guys. 1 million shares traded so far. So this is very, very active. Definitely in play today. Norm, what's the news on this one? Up so much this morning.
ACAD had some this morning. They dropped news that they had some great trial results. I believe it's on dementia, Alzheimer's / dementia. And I believe they're just kind of, the trial was so good that they got enough data and they're almost ready to go straight to approvals for it. So it really spiked the stock. You see these massive moves in these biotech companies. Usually they're low floats. ACAD is not a low float. It's 144 million shares. So that is what is going on there. There's a lot of happy people that had this in their portfolio on Friday, not expecting this, and woke up with double their money this morning.
Wow, yeah, that is a huge pop. So we'll definitely take a look at this one. ATR today alone, it's all over the place in this pre-market activity. We're at $40 here. This pop is at 49, so that's a $9 pop, almost $9 candle. So we got to be very careful if you're trading that in the pre-market. Be aware of that. Some way somehow actually the spread is not bad. It's pretty tight in the pre-market, only 9 cents for the way this is moving. So that's actually pretty interesting. Yeah. But again,
well, it's really liquid. It's already traded almost 1.1 million shares. You can just see the level 2 flowing through.
Yeah.
This thing, actually, I looked at this about an hour ago before I got my kid up and started getting ready for school, and it was forming a nice ABCD pattern on the 5. So it should be interesting to see how it trades today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, so let's go over to our NASDAQ. Not much here in the gappers list. Again, very quiet. And this is okay for a typical Monday. Usually don't get a lot of stuff on here, so that's not too bad. Here we have ACD. We do have already SAVA, more of a penny stock. I don't see much going on here. It does have some great volume. It is down 11%, but this pre-market activity doesn't look too clean for me. Let's just see what the flow is on this one. Actually, the 15 million shares flow, almost 16 million shares. So, but again, guys, under $1. So you got to be really careful. This thing just came out on the dollar a couple of days ago, trading at 124. We can take a look at it, but I really do not like the way these stocks normally trade. So probably one that's not going to make our list. It is down quite a bit, 11.4, 813,000 shares traded. But this pre-market activity of this one candle here is just kind of pretty flat. It's not all that great neither. Next we have SINT. This one is up 37%. This was nasty here, guys. Look at this daily chart. You can tell here it's just not trading very well. Pre-market activity is not all that bad, up 37%, but again, it's more of a penny stock trading under $1. So we're just going to stay away from these type of stocks. FCEL, this is definitely another penny stock on here. Again, not really tradable for our style, the way we trade. So we don't want to be involved with that. NASDAQ ETF should be slightly up. Next we have volatility index, should be slightly down because the SPY is up. AMD is on here, active with 309,000 shares traded, not doing much really. And AMD the last couple of days has been so choppy. Look at this daily chart, just real nasty, kind of just stuck within this range between 32 and 31 or so. Maybe if it breaks down from 31, it heads down to 29.50 looks like. But again, it's just been stuck in this real bad range. Today could be a day to watch AMD because we don't have a lot on here that's looking great. So like the AMDs, MU, JDs, those regular ones that are going to get the volume might be a good watch today since we don't have a lot on our gappers list. SESN, also a penny stock. Next we have Roku. Roku is up, of course. Roku is up almost 1% this morning.
Of course.
Every morning it seems like it's making a new all-time high. So there it is, your new all-time high, 173.35. This thing just, I said it, 200 by the end of the year. Let's see, unless something crazy happens, which doesn't seem to face anything that goes on, whether in Twitter or in the news. This thing just keeps going. It's not faced by any of that so far. So we'll see. This is going to be interesting. Definitely put this one on your list, guys. It's got some good volume already, 200,000 shares traded. And not the greatest pre-market activity, but that's usually normal for Roku, and we'll see what we can get out of that. What's been happening a lot lately with Roku is at the open, you're getting this sell-off. Right, you're getting this sell-off, people taking profit, and then it'll rebound just like this. Just rebounds and just heads higher. Here it actually opened down, and they came back and hit a new high of the day. So again, it's just been so strong over the last couple of days. CYOU, 195,000 shares traded. Does have this pop here. Pre-market activity does not look all that clean. Looks pretty crappy actually. Let's check the flow on this one. It's an 18 million shares float, but I really do not like the daily on this and the way the pre-market activity is setting up.
This is one I was going to bring up. This is one Chinese company, and the reason it's popping is it's being a non-binding offer to buy it out by another Chinese company, and it kind of just reeks of some sort of pump and dump to me. But that's just me.
Yeah, no. Even with that's just horrible. And even without that news, you could tell the technicals are not showing you anything different otherwise. So why would we even bother? Especially with that type of news, it's horrible. All right, so ACAD we have CYOU. We looked at nothing great there. SINT penny stock really not doing much at the moment. It does have some volume. You do have some nasty pre-market activity here. It's up 36%, but again, it's just not anything that we want to get involved with this morning. Cool, KOOL. This one is up 14%, but not with a lot of volume, guys. Only 62,000 shares traded, so it's not a lot of volume going on here. It is up nicely, 14%, but again, it's just not great volume at the moment. Next, we have OTLK. Also, another one, penny stock, not much volume anyway. CRZO, also very low on volume, only 28,000 shares. Riot was fun a couple of months back. Now not doing much, only 7,000 shares being traded. NTNX, this one we've been looking at throughout last week. This one was pretty active. So today they have 50,000 shares, which is not a lot. They have a horrible pre-market activity, but they've been really active over the last couple of days. So it could be interesting to see what comes out of this. We do have some levels on here. After it gapped up on this day here, it's kind of been hanging around here, hitting these levels that we had. But again, just not sure we're going to get out of that with only 50,000 shares traded today. If that gets better, we can come back to it. Next, we have VFF.
So I'll just pop in here.
Yep.
Nutanix, NTNX is popping on an analyst upgrade. Susquehanna moved from neutral to positive rating and $23 to $45. So we'll see how big of a move that gives it. I usually don't put a whole lot of credence in analyst estimates, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's actually no way we can put it on here. We could come back and check it later. So it's been active, guys. I mean, we had tons of volume. When was this? On the end of August, 29th. So on that day, we put on these levels you see here. You can see how these levels played out nicely, how the stock's been trading within this range here. So, yeah, we'll come back to see what we get out of that. ZSAN, not doing much, guys. No volume on there. So, all right, so that is what we have. Not anything too great, as we somewhat expect this morning is probably going to be a little slow. What do you guys have on your end? I see some people in the chat saying T. We'll look at T in a second. Let's look at Apple. I'm putting Norm's top 4 here. Norm, you have Apple, Roku. Obviously, you're probably going to watch. Facebook, you like this morning? Well, if you like this morning, and what's the other one? I'm missing one. NVIDIA. There we go.
Roku, NVIDIA, yeah. There's not a whole lot exciting that I'm seeing in those today. Facebook got a little news on Friday. I believe it was a state's attorney general said that they were going to look into them for some antitrust things or privacy deal, which kind of hit the stock on Friday. We'll see if anything comes of that this morning. Yeah, I had T on my list as well. They have a big activist investor that's announced they have a major stake in the company, and they want to try to do some things and get the stock to $60. So I think AT&T is having its biggest day in like 12 years.
Yeah, because they don't move much. They don't move great. So
no, no.
Definitely one to watch. I mean, look at the number of shares, guys. 10 million shares. It's just insane. All right, excellent. So, guys, what we'll do is let's see what you guys have on your end. So T we have. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that. UGAS. I usually don't watch UGAS, and Brian is the man when it comes to these. Oops. Yeah, so I usually don't watch this one, guys. This is a ETF. And again, it just depends on so many things. So I don't usually watch this one or look for any our type of plays or strategy on this actual stock. So it's just not one that I usually trade on. I let Brian really give us an update when he comes on later at 9:15 or so on that one. He can give you a better information.
Yeah, UGAS is up, and like you said, it's a leveraged ETF. It's 3 times leveraged nat gas. It's up because nat gas is popping this morning. All those commodities have been hit pretty hard. Oil's been hit pretty hard recently, nat gas. But I think that I believe some forecasts came out, and there's some colder than normal temperatures going on in the northern part of the country right now. So that's part of what's going on.
Gotcha. All right, guys, let's see what else. We have AXL here. So AXL, let's see what's going on with this one. AXL. All right, so I don't see a lot of volume on this guy. So I see the daily looks interesting. You have a pop coming off of the $6 mark here, hitting 7 on Friday. I'm sorry, Thursday and Friday had a good day. But again, right now it's just really no volume. Literally only 10 shares traded on AXL. So we'll skip down for now. T, we have Pays, AYS. This one is, oh, this one's got a nice little drop here. Not enough volume, only 25,000 shares traded. But this morning seems to just starting to get going. Whatever happened, this is on the move. Let's see what the float is on this. All right, so we have a 29 million shares float. Yeah, this could be interesting. I do like the daily. I do like the drop. I'm starting to get some volume here. It needs a little more though. It looks like something might have just broke out here, 8:30, some news or something. But I do like this drop here, and also I like the fact that it's hitting some of these levels that it has in the past before. So we can see here what it does around this area. So yeah, we can throw Pace on here.
One quick note on Pays. It has a short float of a couple different data feeds, anywhere from 26 to 29%. So pretty high on that.
Pretty high. Yeah, so be aware of that. It's pretty high on that that number. So what else we have, guys? So SINT. Yeah, we looked at SINT, guys. What I don't like about SINT, let's go back to it. Again, this is more trading under the penny side, guys. Really low float, or at least low price. I'm not even sure what the float is, but just looking at the way this is trading, yeah, one million.
Less than 2 million.
Yeah, so it's pretty low flow, guys. I don't like the daily chart. Every time it gaps up, look at this drop. You know, it's just nasty. This is not something you want to be trading. And also, aside from that, the pre-market activity alone, I don't see it. Although it has 773,000 shares traded, it doesn't have a good pre-market activity. If you guys remember last week, we had several that were on this list that had a nice pre-market activity with some good volume and some good flow right at the pre-market open. But again, this one here is just not looking all that great or exciting. For me personally, I've seen this too many times where it does this and then slowly just keeps dropping down, giving you fake outs and dropping down. It comes right back down to where it came from. So just be careful with these type of plays. It's just like Norm mentioned earlier, it smells like a pump and dump situation here. So be careful with that. CLDR. This one was active last week. Had a good day. We had it on our watch list on Thursday and Friday. Today, it is not doing much, guys. Not much volume or activity. But I see what you're looking at. You can watch this later on to see if something can come out of this. Maybe a continuation play or some profit taking. I know they have some good news. They had a good continuation day. And today it'll be interesting to see what they do. But right now, this was one I'm going to wait for it to hit our scanners because I don't see a lot of price action or activity happening this morning. All right, guys. Anything else? What else do we have? PCG. Oh, PCG. We haven't looked at that one in a while. PCG. This is the one, if you guys recall back, it had this is the one with the fire, right? Yeah, it's right here.
Yep.
No, it was up more than this. This happened a while ago. Let's go back. Yeah, here it is. So this is the one that had the fire.
Last fall,
yeah, so here it is, guys. This thing has never recovered. So after this fire broke out, or not the fire, but the actual news that they might have some fault in it, this thing dropped. And just look at this. You know, anybody buying here think it's going to recover or whatever, or holding this from this area. I mean, they've been holding this almost going on for a year. You know, we're about to get into a year pretty soon. And it still has not recovered. It's still down, still going down. It gives you some fake outs and right back down to $10. So, ooh, that's rough. So here it is, guys. Again,
I saw an article.
Go ahead.
I saw an article over the weekend. I saw an article over the weekend about them. I think it was San Francisco was offering to buy essentially the electrical grid from them. I don't know the backstory on it. I didn't really dig into the article, but that seems to be what's moving it this morning.
Yeah, so again, could be interesting, guys. Right now, not a lot going on. It is trading right at $9. This could be their all-time low, I think. Let's go to the weekly. So it could be, no, they actually dipped lower right after this drop, so they got a lower pop over here. So yeah, it could be interesting. We could definitely take a look at it a little later, see if it gets more volume. But right now, the volume is just so dead. We need a lot more out of that today. All right, what else, guys? What else we have? We could do a few more.
Amgen. Did you look at Amgen?
Nope, we have not. Let's look at that one. All right, so here, what do we have? Down 2.9 this morning. Any news on this one, Norm?
Yeah, I think they had some bad trial results. Merrick is our resident biotech wizard, so
nice.
If he has any info on that, he'll know. But I think they had some bad trial news come out.
All right, excellent. So not great volume right now, but it is down 2.9. It looks like it's been struggling too at this 210. Aside from the news today, it's been having a hard time getting above. This one here tested it here heading back down. So this could be good. And Marek says their cancer drug has some so-so news. All right, so yes, that could create some movements here, guys. This could be a good possible as well. Again, just not great volume, but it's okay because we've seen stocks with not great volume have an amazing open. So if this is in your wheelhouse, definitely I'll throw it in there. All right, guys, so we have quite a bit. We're going to go through this. Not a lot looks great on here. Some we just threw up just to see if they can get any better as we get closer to doing levels. So let's get over to our announcements this morning. Here we go. All right, there it is. Oops, that came up on the wrong screen. Hold on a second, guys. Let me fix this up. There we go.
All right, so the weekly rundown. Today, swing trade discussion with Brian. That's at 2:30. Usually lasts about an hour. It is in the chat room, our regular chat room. And then class number 1 onboardings tonight. Are you doing that or Robert today?
That'll be Robert today.
All right, and then tomorrow we've got Williams trade review session at 3 p.m. That's live. He's also been live streaming those on YouTube. So if you haven't already, you're watching on YouTube. If you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll get a notice when he goes live or any of these other things that we stream that I'm talking about. Workshop Wednesday, noon in the Eastern time, of course, in the classroom. I'm not sure who was doing that. I can't remember, but I know that we've had a ton of positive feedback on those. And then if you ever miss one, if you're at work or whatever and you can't watch it, we have them saved in the Education Center as well. William's doing the Wednesday night trade review sessions, 8 p.m. Eastern, also live streamed on YouTube, as I mentioned. And then as regular Thursday, 3 p.m. time, and then Kurt's Fireside Chat, 3 p.m. on Friday. We're really excited to have sponsored and support Traders for a Cause. If you go to their page, tradersforcause.org, you can see the wonderful things that they have. They donate to. It is a tax exempt nonprofit, and they have a big event coming up in October. It is in Las Vegas. It is a conference. You'll hear from some great people about trading and such. Meet some great traders with VIP dinner and golf tournament, all kinds of things like that. So if you're interested in that, you can go to their site and get the ticket. Bearable VIP promo code will get you $250 off the ticket for the full event. And let's see here what we got. Last week, the Mike Belfiore interview from S&P Capital came out. It is on YouTube. We've had a ton of positive feedback on that. A really phenomenal interview, really great insight. So I know Mike won't see this, but a huge shout out to Mike and a thank you for doing that. And then DAS's #1 best trader competition is in its second week. The leaderboard they have, you can see what the leaders are trading. We're very well represented by Bearable Traders. You go to onebesttrader.com and check that out. Bearable Traders is honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards under the Best Financial Literacy Tool category. If you enjoy the content we put out and being a part of the community, we would love to have your vote. We'd be honored to have your vote. You can vote one time per day per device. Abil's thrown that link up. It literally takes about 2 seconds. Click, you're done. So thank you in advance. We have the New York City Brett Steenbarger meetup coming up September 21st, 2 weeks from last Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday. 4 o'clock. It's going to be in a location near Times Square, Midtown Manhattan. Excuse me. Registration for this has just been absolutely phenomenal. It is free, and drinks will be on us, some appetizers, talked by Dr. Brett, then mingle and such, and you can maybe get a little bit of one-on-one time with him as he walks around the room and such. But really looking forward to that. It's just an amazing honor to have him agree to come see us in our community. So really need you guys to register. It's like I said, it's free, but you got to get a ticket. You can see it on the homepage. BearableTraders.com homepage. Simple process. Check out and get on that because location and such will only be sent to those people that have a ticket. New Bear Bowl Buzz came out, and we reformatted it a little bit, tweaked it a little bit. It came out yesterday morning. If you haven't had a chance, we'd love any feedback you have on that. You can either throw it up in the room in the off topic, email me, norm@bearbowltraders.com, or private message in the room, so on and so forth. So we'd love to hear any feedback or thoughts you guys have on that. And then if you're watching on YouTube and you have not been in the room, watched us trade live, we would love to have you. You can try out the room for a week. Does not auto renew. You can get a discount on that with the promo code premarket24, just as it's typed on the screen. No spaces, no hashes, just pre-market and the numbers 24. And like I said, if you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever any of this stuff goes live on YouTube, which we're putting out more and more content for YouTube all the time.
All right. Excellent, guys. All right, so let's get to it. We got quite a bit here. Again, not a lot looks great, so we're going to go through this pretty fast. Actually, before we start looking at levels, let's check MU and ACB real quick. So MU has a better daily chart than AMD by far. This daily chart is a lot less choppy. Actually has been moving pretty well over the last couple of days, looking pretty strong. So MU could definitely be one to watch today. You know they're going to get the volume. They only have 47,000 shares traded, but MU and AMD, these guys are always very heavily traded. So the volume will definitely come in. And the next one we had was ACB. So we'll look at ACB. ACB, okay volume. For me, this one just doesn't trade as well as the other stocks that we have, other cannabis stocks that we trade. CORN seems to be the best one. CGC is really nice too, but right now they don't seem that active at the moment. All right, so let's get to it, guys. This is a SPY. Let's remove this from here. Oops. Set up here, so we'll take away the SPY. GME, we have some talks about this one hopefully being active, and they're reporting later this week, you said, Norm, correct?
Tomorrow. Correct.
Okay. All right, so let's bring GME.
Yeah, I don't know that it's active. I was just kind of running down the things that we've traded in the past that are that'll report this week. So
correct.
Same thing, RH.
Same thing with RH, yeah. Although RH, I think it's its all-time high. This thing is moving pretty nice. It has had couple of days where it's been trading very well, but again, not really a lot of activity going on this morning. All right, so ACAD, guys, this is definitely should be on your watch list. This thing is really has a lot of volume right now. 1.3 million shares traded. It is up as high right now, 74%, $17. They were high even as high as $10 more, right? They were hanging around 50 at one point, at least popped up to that number. So 51 high of your pre-market. So we'll mark that down. What do we have towards levels on this? I mean, do we have, all right, so that's okay, so going to the weekly chart now, we have some stuff going back to 2015, 2014. Look at this 51. This 51 is right on the money here. It used to be a prior high before. I think that should be probably the all-time high, looks like, or at least at some point close to it. On the weekly, guys, we have a nice level above the price action right in here, assuming a little more just to get it in there. Yeah, 42.50. So mark that down. You can see that 42.50 acting as a great support. Resistance on a couple of these, and support. You got some days of support in here, so that's fine. But really, mainly resistance all around this time frame. So 42.50, something you want to have. You do have an area of somewhat of support in here, 47, a little lower, 47.25, 47.11. You also have an area where there was resistance. Came back and tested that before it popped up. Couldn't hold, and you see the nice sell-off all the way towards the bottom. Towards the bottom of the price action, we do have an area here that's very clean. You can see the resistance on here, 37.92. Several days hitting that. Over here as well, you got several days just bouncing off that 37.92 in many areas on this weekly chart. So you want to have that down as well. Towards the bottom of this weekly chart, you also have an area of support, right? So you have a nice range here that we're creating in this weekly. You have a drop here. Whoops, moved the wrong thing. Back up. Yep. We have a drop here, comes right back up. Another drop, finding support around this 32.69, and then heading towards that 37.78. So very clean area of support and resistance. You definitely want to have these two under under your list. So let's go back to where the action is at now. So right now ATR on this, guys, is pretty high. We were talking about this earlier. If you look at some of these 5-minute candles, this is messing up the chart here, this one candle here. But if you look at some of these candles, this is a $9 candle here we talked about earlier. This is a $6 candle. This is probably like a $2-3 candle. So the moves are very, very wild right now in ACAD. So be very careful. The spread is actually was not as good as it was earlier, but again, just be very careful trading this one, because I think it's going to be a lot of volume and a lot of action coming out of that today. AMD, guys, does have some volume, 370, not doing much. It has been so choppy too, guys, so you got to be very careful with this one. Here's your daily, stuck within this range as we mentioned earlier. So as far as levels, you have your 32, which is your high from 2 days ago, which has been resistance for several days on this chart. Below that, your previous day closed like the bottom of the range, right? So you kind of stuck within this range here. Several days you broke out of it, but then kind of got right back to it. We tested that low on Friday as well, and we're bouncing back just a bit here. So again, plenty of levels on AMD. I'm going to mark down this one down here just in case we drop from this previous day close. 29.77 is a good one to have. And then last one right here, 29.24. So plenty of levels on AMD. If we can break out of any of these ranges, probably we can get a good move. But again, just not a lot of great pre-market activity on AMD this morning. Here's Roku, guys. Wow, Roku is moving nicely. You have a nice little drop here, heading back up. Looks like it wants to test the all-time high, sitting at 173.35. So we'll mark that down. That's a good level to have above here. You obviously don't have anything else, but towards the bottom you got plenty of levels. Previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So you have those right on here. 165. Actually, we could remove the level because there we go. And then below that, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. And then you have this one, 155.56. You also have this moving average right around 160, so you don't really need to mark that moving average there. So again, plenty of action on Roku this morning. I like the way it's setting up, some good volume, has a nice drop here, and it's trading pretty well, kind of like a double bottom off this moving average and heading higher. So looks like it's going to test the all-time high any minute now, right on here, 173.36. All right, so let's see what else we have. NTNX. All right, so NTNX doesn't have a lot of activity going on at the moment. It does have an upgrade from an analyst. So your high right now right here is 26.01 from this pop. Your pre-market high slightly below that, 25.72. So we'll mark that down. Below that, you have plenty, guys. You have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. So I don't think you need to add anymore. If we somehow come back down and we lose this 24, which is your previous day close, 23.96, you can mark down this one over here at 22.68. So that's a good area to have. And then you have plenty. If we break out of this previous high at 26, you got some areas here which we had from before. 26.34 is a good one. And you also have this one up here tested several times, 27.73. So plenty of levels on NTNX. Again, not much activity right now, so might not make our final list here. Pays. Okay, Pays keeps dropping here. Let's get some levels for this. So price action is sitting right at a support level. So I'm going to mark that down. See right here, guys, this area here, you definitely have, again, the breakout from that resistance. It comes back and tests the support several times before its next leg. So I'm going to mark that down. That is sitting roughly around $9.68. So put that down. Then towards the bottom, if we lose that, the next one that we have clean here is this one here, very clean here, 872. And why you have a resistance here, you have resistance again, and then you have the breakout of resistance, and then the pullback for testing that 872 one more time before the breakout. Just in case this thing is really going to dive even deeper today, let's mark one more level towards the bottom, and you have another clean level right here of support and resistance, 796. So here you can see the resistance happening. This thing pops up, cannot break out of that, heads right back down one more time, finally breaks out of it, jumps right to the next level. We have 872, small pullback, and then breaks out of it one more time. Next level, 968. Then you have this huge drop on this day. So I'm not sure that was a bad print or something, but again, drops right back down, back to that 797, and then back up to that 872. So again, several times just in this time from here, several times these two levels have been tested over and over again. So towards the top, guys, I can see already some good clean areas right on here. Look at this 1065, right? resistance here, and then you have support here. So that's been tested several times as well, as support and resistance. So definitely keep that 1065 on your list. So I think that's plenty for pace right now. It's got some volume, seems like it's dropping very nice here. We'll keep an eye on this one as it became very active at 8:30 this morning. Here is T's got some sick volume, guys. 12 million shares traded so far. High of your pre-market 39.94. We'll mark that down. Let's go back and see what else do we have in regards to levels around this area. All right, here we go. So we do have another one here at 39.34. You can see areas of resistance. The price action is sitting on a level right now, so I'm going to mark if the price action moves away from that. We want to have this on our list. So slightly below it, you have this 38, 37, 38, 35 area. You can see the resistance on the way up, the support here. Also, you can see several areas using this level bouncing off up and down off this level. Then below that, this level is even more cleaner, guys. This one here, 37.77. You can see that's going to be a little bit lower. Yep, there it is. You can see here you got the resistance. Once again, it breaks out of that, goes towards the next level. On the bottom side, you can see the support. Again, here you can see the resistance on several days on here. Then here it gets even cleaner. You can see how many times this level was tested over and over again without being able to break. So that's plenty of levels towards the bottom, guys. You can also mark down 37. You can see 37 because the way this thing is moving today, it actually can't come back down to 37. It's got a lot of volume today and activity. So if you put down 37, you could if you draw a line right across there, you can see the areas of support and resistance right around 37. So mark that down as well. So that is what we have for AT&T this morning. T. So again, plenty of levels on here. Very, very active, guys. Good volume. 13 million shares pretty soon. Definitely want to have this on your list. Next, we have Apple. Apple seems like it wants to break out. Actually, Apple's starting to look pretty good now. It's got some volume going. 144,000 shares traded. If it can break out of this area where it's at now, you do have some clean levels up here. You have 217 and you have this one here, 221. Again, that's so far out, but the way this is going, if it can get going here, it can probably give us a good opportunity. Towards the bottom, you got plenty of levels from the previous pre-market shows, previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and also you have this 210 right on here, 210.68. Oh, here we go. Roku's coming up on our gappers list, so that's looking pretty strong, up 2.1 right now. So definitely we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, we got Roku again here. We'll delete this one. Facebook, not much volume, so we'll get rid of that one. Nvidia, not much going on at the moment. This thing did the move that we were looking for. Here's the move. Norm and I both missed it, unfortunately, but just want to recap, guys. We were looking at this for a possible before this day here. We're seeing this setup. Norm called it out, and here's like it was going to break out one way or the other, and there was the break on this day. Happened right at the open. Unfortunately, we're not watching that stock that day. So, but Nvidia not doing much today, so we're going to remove this one. UGAS I'm going to remove as well. It's pretty active this morning though, but I'm going to get rid of this one also. SAAV, also a penny stock, guys. It does have some volume, but again, just the pre-market activity is not something you want to be watching, so I'm going to get rid of this one as well. All right, so we have, just to recap, let's get our daily chart here, see what we have so far. So we have ACAD. A lot of levels on here, guys, but again, if you look at this price action, this candle's messing it up a bit. It has been playing within these ranges, right? 32.69, 37.78, 49.55. You can see that on there as well. These are all from the daily, by the way. 47.11. Even this pre-market, you can see some action happening around that area, and then 50.83. This is we went back a couple of years, and that level is still acting as resistance going back then. So yes, it looks like a lot on here, guys, but this thing is swinging from $9, a candle. So you want to have these levels ready to go. All right, so AMD, how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got to get rid of one. I think AMD might be the one I get rid of today. AMD's just kind of been stuck in this range, not doing anything too exciting. It's gonna get the volume, guys. It's gonna definitely get the volume. Just not sure if I want to keep this one today. Roku, I'm definitely going to keep, looking very strong. It looks like we're tested at 173 one more time. This has been very active. A couple of great trades by Andrew last week on Roku. So again, it's just a good one to watch. NTNX, yeah, this one I'll get rid of. NTNX just doesn't have the great volume, not a great pre-market activity. We do have some possible news on it, like an analyst upgrade, so it could get going. We're back testing this 26 resistance we had in the past, so it can try to break out of that. But based on what I have on my list, I think this is one that I'll take off. Pace is bouncing off this 968, so we'll see what plays out of that. T is, as we spoke about, is very active, so we'll keep this on here. Giving some back right now, selling down. And Apple, yep, I think I'll watch Apple as well. I think Apple's getting some activity and could be exciting to watch. All right, guys, so that is our watch list so far. What do you guys, anything else you guys have that we have not looked at that's starting to look great? Lulu, let's check out Lulu, and I'll check out MU again, see what MU is up to. Lulu. Yeah, Lulu's been strong. It capped up here nicely. It held, actually didn't sell down, and today you could get some continuation out of Lulu. Not much activity at the moment, but this is one you want to have in your secondary list if you're watching it closely. I mean, it's just been trading very well. On Thursday, I had a nice green day. Friday, nice continuation of this gap. And today, we'll see what kind of activity we can get out of it. But yeah, definitely one you can definitely watch. I think it's been pretty strong. TLRY. First, we have INMD. Let's take a look at that one. Not much activity on this one here. And also, I think is this a low float? Yeah, it's a low flow, guys. On the lower side, 9 million shares flow. So be careful with it. With this type of flow, I want to see a lot more volume. Also, recent IPO too. Just opened up a couple of weeks ago. So be careful with that as well. Not a lot of information on here. But with this type of float, I want to see a lot of volume. I don't want to see just a few guys trading this, going back and forth, messing around with our stuff. So yeah, don't be careful with that one. Next here, TLRY this morning. Anything going on with the pot stocks? Looks like a lot of them are just somewhat bouncing back from some levels here. So TLRY, same thing. It's got a nice little bounce of a couple of days ago, but I do not see a great pre-market activity with some volume on here. Also, this is one you want to be very careful if it trades wild. I think it has come down a lot since it came up. It came back down from trading at the 200, 300 levels. It has come down a bit. But be careful with this one. I remember when this was really active, the ATRs and the swings were just unbelievable. Let's look at CORN, CORN. See, this one also has a nice little bounce here, right? So they all seem to be finding some kind of base and bottom here. What's the other one we like to trade? APHA. That's another one. Little more different chart on the daily. So yeah, just be careful with those. I don't see a lot of activity happening with those at the moment. So MT, guys, MT is a foreign stock. This is why I didn't even look at it. I know it's sitting up here up 2%, but look at this daily chart. Look how many gaps you have in between days, right? So this is clearly a foreign stock. Does not trade very well. So normally we'll pop on here into our gappers list with volume and gapping up or down, but it's just not really a great trading stock for us to watch. All right, what else? So TRY we looked at. Yeah, CGC is the one that also trades well. I like CGC and CRON, and they all seem to have found this somewhat of a base here in the last couple of days. They're bouncing out, recovering a bit here. So yeah, CGC and CRON are my favorite ones to trade. But again, right now they don't have great volume, but these all could be a great possible for later on in the mid-morning after we go through our active list. Right at the open, we can tune into these and see what's going on there. See catch a possible trend trade or if they get any type of movement. Also, we got our scanners, guys. Very important. Our scanners help us identify if something that's not on our list is moving, especially if you have a list. This could happen a bit, right? If you have a list and you see that two or three of your stocks are not moving great, you can keep a backup list, like your secondary list down here, of stuff that you might want to watch. Let's say pace comes up and you see no volume in the first 5 minutes. Take it out and you can put in another one, pop in one of your backup stocks on there. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have 10, 20 stocks that you're watching because you just can't focus doing something like that. All right, especially starting out, you want to watch, between, that four stocks at maximum starting out, just to get used to everything that's happening. All right, anything else? How about BYND?
Beyond the meat.
There we go. BYND, not doing much. Kind of just kind of bouncing from, or just not even bouncing, just kind of hitting this level here, not doing anything great lately. Netflix just popped. Let's see, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is bouncing back here. Any news on Netflix or just out of nowhere pop?
Yeah, Kurt, who is it? Kellogg? Who was it that's putting out Incognito? There's one of the big companies has announced that they're working on alternative meat thing, like Beyond the Meat. Its name is Incognito. Yeah, it's Kellogg's. That's what I thought.
Gotcha. Yeah, so this is, huge pop here in the 5. You can see that. Got some activity coming in. Netflix could be a good pop. So I'm going to throw Netflix on here. Something's definitely going on with that. Worth giving a watch. Yeah, thank you guys for throwing that on there. Yeah, I agree. Kron looks like, it looks like these guys are, again, the way the daily setting up is nice, but not great activity right now. But they all have this beautiful bounce here. They found a support and are kind of bouncing back now. All right, guys, so this is what we have, 9:15 Eastern time. Next, for those that are not in our chat room, Brian will come on now. He'll go over his watch list. Then Andrew will come on next and go over his watches. And then slowly we'll finalize our list of what we're going to watch today. So right now, so far, I have ACAD. It's been very active, guys. Be careful with the type of ATR this thing has today. Some of these candles are $5 to $9. So be careful with that, with your number of shares. Also, watch the spread. Right now, the spread... it's a little bit all over the place. Seems to get between 5 cents and sometimes 30 cents. So be careful. Look at the spread before you get in the trade. AMD is pretty quiet right now, but I'll keep an eye on it. And then Roku is hitting this all-time high, 173.40 now. So this one's been very strong. Just be on the lookout for this one. Don't be long biased and go long right away unless you have a signal to do that. Because what we've been seeing lately, it opens up, it sells down, and then it comes right back up. Again, not saying that is what's going to happen, but just be aware of all the possibilities, with when you're trading the open. Pays is back at this low, 950. So again, just been dropping at 830. Just started moving here with this beautiful drop, going past 2 daily levels that we had. So next daily level we have is 872. We also have a nice moving average, slightly above this 872. You know what? I'm gonna move this moving average at this. This level at this moving average. It's only a couple of cents, 10 cents more. Just to be aware that there's a moving average on there as well, right? So we had a daily at 874, but no point in being below this moving average. You want to be right at that moving average just in case we get a bounce from that. T is also very active, 14 million shares traded now. So again, the volume is insane. So this was trading very well this morning. Looking forward to see what that's going to do. So it had a high of 39.69, a low this morning of 36, hanging around right at the middle. So we'll see who wins this battle. Buyers or sellers at the open. And then Apple here, Apple just seems like it wants to break out. I like the way Apple is setting up. Norm, I'm sure you're going to be having your eyes on Apple as well. As you can see here, you got prior resistance right around this 214 that it's battling with. So if it can break out of that, we can probably get towards that 215, 217 area. All right, guys, that is what we have.
They've got their big event tomorrow, their Apple event, announcing their new phone. So I don't know if it'll be a catalyst today, but it will for sure tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us on YouTube. Take care. Trade safe. Let's start this week off right, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Trade safe. See you tomorrow morning.